So we've got a 645 CI. Autel's found it for us. We're going to start with the scan because I'm not sure yet. The car has got a light on the dash. Report it needs a steering rack because it won't ignite. So I don't know what won't ignite, but we're going to scan it and see what the scan says, and we'll take it from there. Then we will put the car up in the air and we'll have a look at the track rod ends to see why the steering is a good quarter turnout. See if somebody's been playing about there. If one is extremely different to the other one, for sure somebody's been playing about there. But we won't know until we have a wee look. So not sure. It's been in one garage for no reason. Had some issues there. Car got flooded, etc. Then changed the module on it, and ever since I've been having bother with the steering, I think. So, and then went to BMW for recall. They had to go at it and it was worse, so no idea what's going on. So that's the scan all done, which is all good because you can see there's none with no response and none with not scanned. So all the modules seem to be talking to each other, which is good. So output stage, electric fan absent. DSC brake lamp switch permanently actuated absent. Angle sum relation incorrect. Steering angle plausibility. Angle motor position angle not initialized. So that's what our problem is with the steering anyway. So we will have a look here. Enter the system. Apply data. Steering angle. Let's have a look at that. So driving steering angle. The speed jump in there. So something right there. See that? Driver steering angle speed. Interesting. So fault value of the steering angle is okay. Status of driving steering angle 2 okay. Status of steering angle 2 valid. Minus 1440. Steering angle speed. What is that one? Keep jumping to -8. So it's reading the data anyway off of there. So pause here. We'll put the car on the lift now and have a look at it on the lift. So I've already had it up in there and had the wee pictures at it. I'll just doing a free health check on it at the minute. It's soaked in oil everywhere. So you can see down there it's absolutely soaking. That crankshaft pulley doesn't look too clever like it. It seems to be wobbling a bit. So I wonder if the rubber, you can see the alternator has got wee bits of rubber in it as well. You can see there is a dark line. I know it is going round, but I can see there's a dark line on the edge of the belt. And you can see all the gunk down there as well. So that belt will eventually go. You can see that hose as well. That hose is going to go. So that'll need changed. That maybe need to be a BMW part. I don't know if we could just put a new clamp on it, but certainly that part there, it looks like when you buy it, it probably comes as a complete set. So that hose, you know, all those other ones there, however many there is. I have had rocker covers on these before, and they have a complete another pain, man. Those bits there, those Vanos sensors at the back, man, Jesus, what an absolute mission. But I'm going to take covers off of this one and get a better look at the rack, but it's soaked in oil down there. I'd imagine the rack's soaked in oil as well. So we can see it's soaked in oil. Absolutely soaked, man. So I can see it's had a rocker cover gasket. If we look up there, we can see all the silicone blowing out it. I didn't put any silicone on the ones that I did, other than in the back channel where the camshaft journal is, where it tells you to. That is horrendous looking. And you can see there's some spewing out there, then there's a big gap where there's none spewing it. If it's all spewing out of there, right, then it'll be spewing into the inside of the engine as well. So not good. Not good. This one, but it doesn't look like it's been touched. It's soaking. that oil pressure switch up there is probably leaking. I know that because the last time I did these, the guy told me change every seal, everything that's leaking, so we did. He then come back shouting at me months later saying, "You cheap bastard, why did you not change everything?" And we had a joke. I says, "It's oil pressure switch, it wasn't leaking at the time." So it was like not that expensive. These bushes are knackered, I could hear that driving it. Right, both of those are knackered, split. Right, you can see it up there, it's all split. Oil leaks, but I think we'd start for the top, wash all the car, oil switch, rocker cover gasket, new belts, and a new crankshaft pulley, the hose so far. Front discs, I need to change, look how thin there, they should have been changed years ago. Right, so, yeah. Man, Jesus Christ, how have they got it so thin with nobody advising them, man? You can actually see how thick the outer part is compared to the inner part, so it needs disc and pads. Right, Jesus. Jesus! What else goes on these? Yep, bushes, knackered. Right, so they are about 5 tonne each. Knackered, right. Knackered. I love how they do all the alloy, but these are probably away as well. They're prone for going. These bushes here, I can't remember what you call them, but they're prone for going. In fact, the other 645, that ball joint's away and now it's squeaking. So you can see where the oil's got to, so at least it's protecting that. So I'm going to need to take the stiffener off it. We'll have a look at the wiring on it, see what's going on. Obviously it's really hard to tell, even if it is the same steering rack as this one up here. I'd imagine there's part numbers and differences and stuff. You can see all the fluids run out of that one there, so I can see that bit's on it anyway. Whether or not it's right, I don't know. So we need to get a good old look at this rack that's on the car. Right, so I've got a rough idea what's going on with it now. So we can see here that steering wheel's in the straight ahead position, right, and I'm in steering angle sensor. I'll put the flash off. If I go other way, that's 0 there. Right, if I come out here, but and I go to back, pause here. I go to steering angle sensor, start up the active steering. Actually, sorry, come back out here. Right, I can't come out here, but it's the same bit, right? This is every time, right? So there should be no fault codes logged. There is. We're going to click yes, because that means I can get back out of here. I seem to be getting stuck in this. Just keeps trying to do it again. It tells you failed again. Start the engine. It's started. Yes. Set the wheels to the straight ahead position. For me, they're not straight ahead. They're slightly turned in. Right. So we'll say that is yes, right? So watch this, right? So steering angle is now saying 43 with a question mark, right? So we turn it to run about where the steering is actually sitting when you're driving, which that's about right. It's about run about there, right? That thinks that's 0, right? So there's obviously sensors in the rack, and there's obviously sensors in the column. So what one is it that isn't right? Because to me, right, unless somebody's had the steering wheel off this thing and moved the steering wheel, which I will take off and see if there's a master spline on it, because for me that's the wheel straight, right? So that for me there is the wheel straight, right? The steering wheel's off, but the wheels are straight. Yeah, that's 0. So we'll go to continue. Now continue with the wheel axle. Do you want to set up the active steering? No, because if I hit yes, I'm just stuck in here. Right, continue. Go back out there. Back out here again. Into control unit now. Chassis. No, that's actually the wrong part, I think. Am I doing that right? Chassis. Active steering. Live data. Yes. Status.
values of steering angle sensor, status of active front steering. Right, so he thinks we're now at 32 degrees, so I think that's that sensor up there, right, because this is just steering angle. Again, to go back to here, no, one bit, you can see roughly that's where it should be. So it's a bit of a pain because I know the car's been to another garage and then it's been to BMW, and you just don't know what they've done to it, what they've been playing about with. So I do know I had a module as well, so God man, I'd hate to fire that rack and all that in it, and then I'll probably need to take the rack out to confirm it is exactly the same because it's so hard to see it. BMW report says that they confirmed the steering wheel was off and they removed the steering column and refitted, found steering still to be off. Steering jamming requires steering rack. Interesting. Right, somebody 100% had the steering wheel off, as you can see where the socket's been. So we'll take the steering wheel off and have a look and see what's going on in there. Right, so we're under the big bimmer again. See all the oil leaks on it, right? Lots of oil leaks and stuff, so these have not been put back in. That one's slack, I've not slackened that, not touched it, I've just not tightened it up. Right, there's one missing for there, and there's one missing for there, and there's no excuse for it because the tabs are still there and they still look in good condition. So, right, so, but I was looking at this here, just to see, right, so I've been up and had another wee look at the rack, so I'm looking at the wiring here and I'm looking at my data, basically my manual. But I did just spot some on this, so what I was looking at was to see if maybe somebody could this bolt on anyway, and I think it could if this was moved, so if this plastic bit was moved, right. However, but I didn't spot it the other day, that's melted, right, that's actually melted, so we'll not be accepting that. That's 100% melted, right, so can't accept that. Cannot accept that. I won't be fitting it, right, because it's clearly had heat on it, so I'll not be fitting that one. Right guys, I'm doing a big bimmer 645 Ci. I'm quite familiar with the 645 Ci. I've done a load of work on them in the past. I've not seen this one before. This one's came in and it's been at a few different garages, right? So it come in with a big story. I'll not go through the whole spiel, but basically it's got a light on for steering angle sensor. Now, I went to a power steering place and they had to go at fixing it. And it come out of there. The steering wheel was half a turn out, right? It then came out of there and it went to BMW. The story's not quite as vast in BMW. They had phoned up and says, look, can we reverse the steering? And we'll try and recalibrate it and see if that'll fix it. I don't know what reverse the steering means, right? But it didn't work anyway. But the car came out of BMW and the steering wheel was a quarter of a turn out. So it was better. So I decided, I've got another rack there for it, right? Now, the rack fits about 5k, something like that. Now, this one came in, unfortunately, right? It does have a wee bit of damage just there. It's been melted on that sensor. So, but I'm not going to condemn the rack on this one yet because it's, the power steering's working to a certain extent. And I've moved it myself just to see what was going on. So, taking the just call it a little stiffener plate off it, right? So a little stiffener plate off, and I moved the steering up in here. Now, take this off again. I'll need to take that off and take this plate off. So I moved it, and I moved it with my ball, and I thought, right, I'll just turn it a wee bit to the. I've kept the steering wheel straight. I kept my dad sitting in the car, and made sure the steering wheel was straight. And basically, when the steering wheel was straight, the wheels were pointing to the left a wee bit. So I just moved the wheels, disconnected the steering column and moved it back round, and it's now a quarter of a turn the opposite way if it was, so the steering wheel's down to the left now. So I'm going to try and move it back just one notch and just see what happens. I'm going to try and recalibrate it until I can try and get the steering wheel central. Now, there's two different steering angle sensors on it. I'm not sure which one on this steering rack is the position sensor, right? The only thing that BMW could tell me out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, is it 4? 4, no, 5 plugs on it anyway, right? So say there's maybe one motor there, and then some sensors. BMW could only identify one when they tell them what the rest of them did, and they basically said it was a steering lock position switch. that was the only one they could identify. I don't know what one it was, but anyway, they could only identify one. So that's the steering angle sensor, right, for behind the steering wheel as well, right? So the customers obviously brought that in as well. So, but however, if you get the steering angle sensor, right, and you've got the steering wheel straight, and you look at the position of the actual angle sensor, it says 0, right, with the steering wheel straight. Brilliant. Why if we get an issue, right? You then go into active steering module. Obviously you can see that it's got active anti-roll bars and stuff like that on it as well, so a bit more involved, this one. But anyway, so could see the steering angle sensor behind the steering wheel was 0, but when you went into active steering, this one was showing minus 46. Now that would explain why they're pointing to the left, right? That kind of agrees with that. Looking at the car butt, right, I don't really see any damage on the wheels, right, other than just a little blemish there, right? That wheel to me looks like it's turned in slightly. The steering lock's on, so I can't move them, but with the steering straight, that one there looks straight to me, and that one there to me, might just be my eyes, but it looks like it's slightly towed in. So I'm going to have another bash at moving it, and then we'll take it from there, really. I put a wee blue mark on it, right, and then I've moved it, so I put a blue mark, lined it up, and then I've driven it to see how far away it was, and then I've moved it to where the mark, back to where the map should be, so let's see if that's straight. So we've got some good news on the big bummer, right, that's the report we just did on it there. I did do another one another week there. So electric fan, I can feel sitting on the car, it seems to have cleared a wee bit now, but there's a wee misfire on it earlier on, it seems to have got a wee bit better. I still feel it, but so this is the ones we're looking at, right? So the one here, angle sum, relation incorrect, present, absent, 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 so it's not seeing these, absent, absent, absent. However, when I did get in and see, look at both steering angle sensors, I now know which one on that other rack. I now know after looking at basically I think it's a trading module on this particular rack that I managed to get a PDF on, so I could now tell BMW what sensors are what on it, and there is a position sensor now. It is one that would need to drop a subframe on it to get to it, if we can't get it to calibrate. However, I do have the steering straight on the car now, so my wee paint mark that I put on it, and then obviously, so I paint marked it, took it off, paint marked it, took the plastic wee guide off it as well, put a paint mark on the rack and on the steering column, and then I went and drove it to see how far away from the map was, and we were quite a bit away from it. And I did notice this car turning it, the steering didn't seem to go the same, so it should go 1 1/4 or 1 1/2, I'm not sure it was 1 1/2, 1 1/4, should go 1 1/4 that way, 1 1/4 that way, so it wasn't doing it wasn't even, so I knew it wasn't right. So, and for me, story goes, it went into one place and the steering wheel, it came out of there and the steering wheel was half a turn out, right? It then went to BMW, right, one of the BMW dealers in Scotland, and it come out of there and they asked if they could reverse the steering. Don't know what that means, but so they did that and they said, look, unfortunately we just can't get it, we still get this light on, it needs a rack. But I was slightly better, it come out of BMW and the steering was then quarter turn out. So I've now got the steering pretty much straight, right? I'd say maybe we're 1 degree maybe to the left, right? But I'm not going to grumble about it. I reckon now that could be tracked out. Now I wouldn't recommend tracking this car at the minute because it needs rear suspension arm bushes, so there's no much point, it'll never be right? So the axis line is taken off the back wheels basically to keep my steering wheel straight. So I would do some back bushes on it first before we did any wheel alignments on it. Now these codes won't all clear, right? The steering angle sensor ones, they won't all clear at the minute, I don't believe so anyway. They have, but right, so I'll try and calibrate it. Obviously I'll restart this and I'll scan it again and I'll see what comes back without turning anything. Let's see. Right, I'm not saying I'm out the woods yet. Obviously I do still have that active steering fault message there and the light on there, right? I don't have any fault codes on it, I've not moved the steering or anything like that, right, so I've maybe just not detected that there's an issue there yet. Active anti-roll bar, I have been seeing, like you get in the Range Rovers when you've got fog with your active anti-roll bar, you get the arrows, 1 point's that way, 1 point's that way. I have seen them on the dash on this car, so there's something going on there that we'll need looked into, so I'm going to try and calibrate this and then report back. Doing something there, resetting the motor position angle failed. You can hear it clonking away down there. There's the reset, press the right, there we go, it's doing something. Right, that's failed. That's just going to keep it seems to get stuck in this infinite loop. It's failed again, so I'm going to need to restart the machine. It won't come back out of this loop, it just stays in there. I don't know how you get it back out, maybe I need to speak to Autel about that actually. Okey-doke. I don't know what the clunking is, I don't know what the clunking is. The motor position angle cannot be reset. Perform troubleshooting and active steering control unit, press continue to end the service function. Good, right, so end service function, excellent. Right, escape in there. Steering angle sensor. Right, I'll try again. That's a different one for some reason. No. It's the same thing, I think. Yeah, it's just the same thing, it's just for a reason. I can hear it clunking, something's clunking. Something, sorry. Right, so it's failed again. Right, it's not probably going to do it, so we shall have to back to the drawing board, I think. Although I've got the steering straight, we're still back with all these codes. We'll see what this repair assist is. Determining the speed. This one here, steering angle. So that one there is doing something now. That's a bit zero. Straight, that is down there, the straight. So status of total steering angle to valid. Angle to okay. Fault value of steering angle okay. I think this is an issue here because the car's not moving, the steering isn't moving. In 1 minute it's, oh, there was a minus there, so see that? So if I do a wee record that. Settings there, but something definitely going on there. And there, so I'm going to go back and look at that schematic again and see. Although it is slightly heavy, it is working. So I'll pause here and show you. Right, so there's where our steering wheel is now. Right, that's pretty straight ahead position for me. It's not a way down to the left, it's not a way down to the right. It's kind of central, so it's as good as I can get at the minute, I think. Right, so I'm still in reverse for race mode, D for Vic mode. Right, there's where the steering is. I'm not touching it. Right. For me it's slightly down to the left, right, and I mean slightly. I'm not going to move it anymore. I've not even tightened up the bolt on the steering rack, it's just in there. It's just in finger tight at the minute, so I've got to stiffen my plate and all that kind of stuff off it. So now maybe we're looking at a sensor issue now, I'm not sure. So obviously that is stopped at the minute, right? But a minute ago I just seen it was, there you go, oh, there you go, right, there you go, nothing's moving, car's stationary, right, car's absolutely stationary. We'll actually turn the engine off, right, put ignition on. So just ignition, oh aye, ignition, there we go, just ignition on, nothing's moving, car shouldn't have any speed showing, but yeah, we keep jumping back to minus 8.79. So that is what we will have to look into, where this driver steering angle speed comes from. Not even any ignition on in this car. Right, this has been sitting here for ages. Right, I've been making tea and I'm now looking at an Infinity up the back, which was in another dealer for 2 years. And he got to get that Infinity, was in the dealer for 2 years. He got it back, the window was taped up, the car was still in bits, the car was black and it's still black, it's graffitied all over it with the dust. They taped up the window because they says that they couldn't get into the boot because the 12 volt it was flat. So what we did, I'll pause here and show you, we put these onto a battery, we put the red one there, we put the black one there, and as soon as we did it sparked and you heard the dash go bing. So I came round here, I pushed that button and it opened the boot. But all that door card was all stripped off, so we fixed it and it's all working. Dash is now on, but it's working now, so crazy.
Because he's been left it, you know what I mean?
On your cell muddy pause, I thought I was only maniac out today. Look at this craziness, man. On a Sunday morning at 11 o'clock. But hey ho, Formula 1's on later on, so I'll go and get my big win later and all. Just so he leaves me alone. Otherwise he'll just destroy everything. He just doesn't leave nothing alone. I had to re-put my fire stick together about 3 times today. My remote control, because he decided he was having that, so I couldn't operate any of my buttons on my fire stick because of him. Yep, look at him, he's a maniac. Dun 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 dun. Sharknado.